up, baby boys, baby girls? Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another So-So production. Tested but well rested on June 27th, 2022. We're doing it. Hope you all had a great weekend. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend wherever you are in and around this beautiful planet, aka the blue floating marble. If you're here in Toronto, Canada, shout out to you. If you're anywhere in Ontario for that matter, anywhere in Canada. If you're in BC, shout out Halifax, Nova Scotia, Yukon territories, Northwest territories, all the territories up in there, like swimwear. If you're down in the Americas, America, South America, Central America, you know what I mean? If you're out there in Europe doing it, if you're out there in Asia doing it, in Europe, Africa, Antarctica, where else, fam? If you're out there in Australia, New Zealand, you're in them islands, Caribbeans, doing it. Shout out to everybody. Thank you for joining me. If you're a long-time listener and viewer of the show, thank you very much. Love you. Sending all that positive energy right back at you. And if you're just joining us today, buckle up, buckle down. Boys at it again. Let's go, baby. Sip to the gang. Got a lot to discuss with y'all today. Had a wonderful weekend. Had myself I went for a few long walks, especially my walk on Saturday. Man, I probably walked all the way from my place to downtown, which is roughly 8 to 9 kilometers, and walked almost all the way back. So that's I'd say another 6K right there. So 8 and 6. Who's good at math? You are. 14K, baby. Minimum. And then on Sunday I went for a walk as well. That's what I try to do. I encourage everybody to get out there if you can. It's summertime. Get that vitamin D, get some exercise, get some mobility. You know, you see a couple of, you're like, man, but I like to work out a little bit hardcore. I like to push some weight around when I'm working. Have you ever walked around and seen a grandma on a walker, dude? That's easy. 80 to 100 pounds, dude. Just get behind her slowly. It's all about the form. Put your palms on her back and just gently, and she'll resist a little bit at first, but then if you're going the same direction, I bet she'd be up for it. Just push grandma a little bit longer, and next thing you know, and if everybody pitched in, man, grandmas and grandpas on walkers, they be getting around faster. I'm just saying, times of the essence. But good things are happening in and around the world, man. I'm very grateful, very thankful for all the people in my life, friends, family members, us, the syndicate, doing it. And it's summer season. Summer is full of mischievous behavior. Summer is full of that fun in the sun. Summer's all about suns out, buns out, guns out. Summer's about beginning new relationships. Summer sometime is about ending a few relationships. Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know. But you know, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But one of the things I want to talk to you guys about today is, I guess, communication. Communication's key, fam. Communication is all about laying down those basic foundations. What does it take to communicate? Well, hopefully you'll need a mouth hole. You'll need a mouth hole to, you know, put out some sounds. But you know, a lot of things may be said about communication. One forgotten aspect, or sometimes underrated aspect of conversation, is listening. God gave you 2 ears, 1 mouthful. 2 ear holes, 1 mouth. You're supposed to take in more than you put out. That's what I try to do, man. Listen to myself, listen to you guys, listen to the world outside. What's going on? And you know me, I'm all about relationships. I like to see people happy, but sometimes you don't see people happy. Sometimes you see people, like I said, it's that season. It's summer. And you may find yourself walking on a beautiful Saturday with your tunes in your ears, wearing your shorts, wearing the same underwear for a couple of days. You got to do laundry. It's that time, ain't it? And you see a couple that's, I don't know what their sitch was, fam. I'll be honest with you. I saw a couple on Saturday when I was walking back, fighting across the street. And this isn't the first time I've seen this. I don't know if it was the same couple pulling the same thing. I don't know if it's, am I stuck in a simulation? Because sometimes I feel like I'm seeing the same thing 2, 3 times. Or was it a different set of couple? You know, what was it? But they were fighting, and they were, what stood out for me was that they were fighting from across the street, yelling from across the street. And, you know, this was around, again, anybody who's familiar with the area, this was probably around Yonge and Davisville, happened on Saturday. It was exciting, I'm not going to lie to you. It was exciting. I don't like to see people fight, but a fight is exciting. You know what I mean? The gentleman was on the west side of Yonge Street. The female, the lady, was on the east side where I happened to be, and she was walking maybe 2, 3 feet ahead of me. And I've got my tunes in my ear and I'm blasting music. Normally I like to turn it up to a level where it's not hurting my ears, but it's loud enough for me to not really hear much else. You know, I'll hear like a car honking, or, you know, something loud like construction, I'll hear that, but people's conversations, I want to be tuning that out. I want to be in my own mind, listening to my tunes. But this lady was bickering and fighting with her old man from across the street, and that's that long distance communication thing. You got to bridge the gap. You gotta mind to get. That's where your problem's at, dude. If you're having trouble communicating, get closer. You're like, we've been close. That's what we needed some time for. I don't know your sitch, but fighting from across the street doesn't solve it. I couldn't really tell what the other fellow from across the street was saying, but the lady in front of me, man, she was throwing up hand signs, hand, like, she's going like, someone was like, oh, and fuck it, yeah. You know? And she's walking close to, and I'm behind her, right? I'm walking like 2, 3 feet behind her. She slows down, I catch up, I pass her. She speeds up, and it's like a few minutes of her bickering, fighting with her man, or her man fighting with her, both of them fighting, no bueno. And me being within close proximity, and, you know, I just lift up my head to have a glance, and I see this couple fighting, and the dude's eyeing the lady, bicker, and I'm real close. And she's feeling, I gotta say, she was feeling like, you know, I don't want to put off anything until, like, I don't want to be in anybody's business, dude. I don't, leave me out of it. I don't want to be in anybody's business. So she's speeding up, I'm slowing down, so to, you know, give the distance, you know, I want to remove myself from the sitch as quickly as possible. So she speeds up, I slow down, but then she slows down and I speed, and then it just looked like for a few minutes as if I was, from the outside perspective, it may have looked like as if I got her back. And, you know, I don't want to, you know, I got both y'all's backs, dude. It's like, I'm impartial, fam. Judge, you know, it's, I'm not going to play Judge Judy with you. I'm not going to get in there and be like, who bought what? Whose couch is it anyway? You know what I mean? It's whose TV was it? Whose plates are these? I don't want to do that, but like, I wanted to remove myself. So I'm like, oh man, can this lady please switch direction or something? Because it seemed like she was gaining more steam as I was like walking along. She's like, it seemed like she had backup. You know what I mean? I was the backup, like unintentionally. It's wrong place, wrong time. Found, or right place, right time. I don't know. Maybe I saved her. God damn it. Maybe I did save her. Maybe that was an abusive son of a bitch. And maybe she saw me walking behind her and in front of her and trying to, like, you know, be in and out of the proximity. She probably felt backed up, and for that, sister, you're welcome. If you felt like you got more, you know, if you needed that, because man, the way she threw up the hand signs, like, yeah, fuck you too, you know. And I was like, and the dude seemed upset, dude. He was like fuming, red from across the street. I'm like, oh no. That's the time when you hope for mad traffic. In my mind and my gut, I'm like, man, Lord, if there's ever time for lots of traffic, let it be now. Oh, where's the rush hour when you need it, dude? Where's that double-decker bus so you don't see anything? You know what I mean? Oh, it got awkward because, like, thank God I was on her side, though, because if it was reverse season, I was just like, the dude was doing the same thing, and it looked like I'm backing him up. Because I'm not backing anybody up. But like, if she needs that reinforcement, God, don't put me in that situation. Just, you know, it's like, oh, it's reminiscing. Brought back youthful memories of the old household. Lots of love in the household, but of course, like every household, there's that every once in a while, maybe the parentals. You know, it's that time of the year, aka the end of the month. The bills are coming in. Oh, money issues. Every now and again, of course. Things I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, mom, dad, can we just get along, please? Good times. I didn't panic. No way. Cool as a cucumber. You know what I'm saying? Love parentals, love relations, want to see people working out their issues for the love of the kids, man. For the love of the kids. But it's all about communication, man. If you're fighting if that's, you need to get close. That's your problem right there, man. That is your problem right there. What else did I get up to, dudes, ladies? I was, I had in the previous, it's been a little bit of a dry spell for your boy, if you know what I mean. Had 2 dates last week or the week before, both got canceled. Never, nothing came to fruition. Didn't even end up going on dates, which was kind of a bummer, but still no big deal. Whatevs. Tis what it is. And last night, though, I got into a conversation with a lady who ladies, gents, your boy was, when you have a good conversation with somebody, everything's clicking, you're just like, she's texting, you're texting, you know what I mean? Everything's going like she's coming out with one-liners, I'm coming back with the other one-liners, we're just going back and bonding. For 9 minutes and around 45 seconds, everything was going super well. Cracking jokes, making plans, and then boom! You get another text and everything just turns sideways. You get a text and it's like, my boyfriend was laughing at me today because my other date canceled. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. What am I supposed to make of that? Ha ha. So I come back with, you got a dude. And of course I got a dude. Well, didn't say so on your profile. I wouldn't be in this 9 minute and 45 second long conversation had I known you had a boyfriend or a man or a dude or something. I was like, it doesn't have to be anything. We're in an open relationship, happily in an open relationship. My sex drive is high, my boyfriend is okay with it. But I ain't. Unfortunately, or fortunately, because younger Robbie Rob would have probably not even thought about it twice, dude. If you're tossing that puss, younger me would have probably slayed it, no questions asked. But that's younger me. And now we're older, we're wiser, we're like fine wine, aging but getting better. At a certain point you got to drink it though, because if you let it go too long, that's just, what are you doing? But yeah, I got my, I was excited because we were like bonding, and I was like, you're funny. I think you like my sense of humor. You like where this conversation is going. You're down to meet up, grab a drink or something. Sweet. Then you lay it on me that you got a man's. No bueno for your boy. I'm super happy for her and her man if that's their vibe. You know what I mean? Super happy for everybody out there getting some and then some. So, that's what that is, man. I had to, politely exit the conversation. And no judgments, it's just personal preference. I blame it on, I'm a thinker, I'm an overthinker. I don't want to be dealing with, I don't even want to leave it up to chance. And I'm sure you got a pretty sweet system going out for you. It's working great. He's understanding, you're getting some extra. He might be getting some extra. I don't even know what he's up to, man. But point is that I don't want to be tangled up in nothing. You know what I mean? Because it's just too many factors into the old equation, and it's just, no thanks. Great conversation, though. Had you not been with a man, could have been something, either minimal or maximal could have been something, but it can't. It literally can't. So that's that. A little bit of a bummer, but also we still got our chins up, we still got our chest out, dude, nips out, neck out. I got my tonsils out. Everything's out, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all you gotta do. You gotta put yourself out there. You gotta try to communicate and listen to key factors and gestures and pick up on stuff. Hope you're all having fun. Hope you're all, whether you're in relationships, whether you're single, whatever you're doing in life, I hope you're having fun. I hope you're all safe. Whatever it is that you're doing, man. But it is, it's good times. It's good times, baby. Ah. Yeah. What else have I been up to, man? I watched watched a little. I needed a little bit of time to relax, to be honest with you. I just need a little bit of just tuning out, not thinking about much, so that I can get back to the start thinking. You know what I mean? You gotta sometimes just lay low. So that's what I did. Laid low, watched a couple of movies. I watched The Man from Toronto on Netflix. Woody Harrelson. Kevin Hart, Woody Harrelson. Chocolate, vanilla, chocolate, or chocolate and white chocolate. What else could you ask for? If you need some, a couple hours to just go by and watch something with low stakes, lots of action, but you're safe, you're comfortable, you're sitting, you're relaxing. But I wanted to check it out because the title. To be honest with you, the title was the main attraction, Man from Toronto. I'm like, what is this? What is this Man from Toronto? I'd like to see what kind of representation is being put out there. Is this really about a man from Toronto? Or is this another case of people coming in and taking our jobs? You know what I mean? Just saying, man. Just saying. Oh, we all speak the same English. Oh, I didn't see one poutine session. No poutine session in the movie. No beavers. No Tim Hortons. No construction. No winners. It was no winter. It was just we're just breezy like that. Man from Toronto. Okay. No, I liked it. It was good. But, I read somewhere, and by somewhere I mean Wikipedia, because you know how you do things, you start Googling one thing, next thing you know, it just leads you to completely something that it was unexpected, it was different, and yeah, because we're just looking up the cast, and I'm like, how many, do they have any Canadians in this Man from Toronto movie? And they did, a few. You're lucky you did, man, because if you didn't, I would have been, right there. Supportive, because I'm supportive like that. But I liked the movie, but it was just doing a little bit of random checks on the old Google, and I came across a little piece of knowledge, which is really interesting. It was about Woody Harrelson's dad. I didn't know this. Perhaps I mentioned this before. It was one of those things that's just a little bit of information here or there. Who knows what gets kept around and what gets deleted, but it was just another reference. It's oh man, shit. Woody Harrelson's dad apparently was a suspect, allegedly, in the JFK assassination. Woody Harrelson's dad was a legit hitman. If you Googled it, Wikipedia that shit, occupation, it says hitman, which was, shout out to Woody Harrelson, by the way, I love you, dude. And same with Kevin Hart. But that is a really interesting fact, because if you watch the movie, you know that it's about a hitman. Man from Toronto's a hitman. Alright, not giving anything away, not gonna ruin the movie. And, go watch it if you like it. But yeah, it was interesting to see the movie and then go read that. I'm like, oh, you're playing a hitman, your dad was a hitman. And allegedly involved in the JFK assassination. Allegedly. But he wasn't. But he wasn't. Interesting. If your dad's if your dad's a hitman, forget Woody Harrelson, forget the JFK assassination, but that's somebody, if you go down in Wikipedia, it's if you go down in history, occupation, on your tombstone, it says, loving father, caring brother, great lover, decent tipper, hitman. It's just one of those because ideally, if you're a hitman, I think that you want to go You know, you want to fly under the radar. You don't want to be advertising. You don't want to be putting it out there. But then again, I get it because like it's man, inflation. You know, everything's running low on supplies. So maybe there's maybe you need to get paid, and there's that's forward thinking. You know, maybe he was ahead of his time. I don't know if he advertised or if they put it on him, the label. I'm saying, maybe he went, maybe he tried to keep it as discreet as possible, but then they later found out that he had popped a few fellas here and there. And well, once the news gets out, that is kind of hard to shake off. You know what I mean? So that's interesting. That is interesting. And that has, that should not reflect in any shape or form on Woody Harrelson, because, like that's your dad, and that's has nothing to do with you. We're not responsible for our dad's actions. We're not. And same goes with our sons and daughters too. Everybody's responsible for their own actions. Unless no, that's just the way it works. But it was interesting. Like, oh shit, interesting. I enjoyed the movie. It was fun. I need a little bit of just silly, fun little, not think about much, watch a movie. But then I watched something else, which was interesting, which got my attention, talking about Money Heist Korea, fam. Money Heist Korea. Did you enjoy the first Money Heist? Did you enjoy the first Money Heist with a bunch of hot Latinos and Latinas? Chicos and chicas? Eh? Orole ese? You know what I'm saying? Viva la raza? Yeah? Or something, dudes. First one I enjoyed. I like a good heist. For doing, you know me, big fan of heist. Big heister here. Like to go on heists. Not really. Like to conduct heists. Not really. I like to get involved. Not really. I'm the idea dude. I like to get in there and I'll be the, like, you know what I mean. I'll talked about this previously. Like, I'm not the guy. I'm not gonna fit in the shoebox. I'm not the, I could. Did I do a little bit of, minimalistic contortionist activities back in the day? Maybe. Boy dabbles. Did I, do I like hanging from ceilings via some wires? Maybe. Do I enjoy crawling in air conditioning units and ventilation systems? Hell yeah. Maybe a little bit. Do I get a kick out of talking into walkie-talkies? Hell yeah, dude. You know me and walkie-talkies. Roger that. It's over and out. But I wouldn't have watched it because it was basically kind of a remake. Very much similar story, but one important aspect was really intriguing and it caught my attention. It was Money Heist redone in Korea. And the interesting fact was that the Koreas, the two became one. The movie was depicting a unified Korea, which for me I wanted to explore because that's something I've briefly thought about, and I don't think anybody else has ever thought about this. Okay, maybe some have, but it was interesting because I wanted to imagine that. I wanted to see what they imagined, the producers, the makers, the actors. I wanted to see what their imagination had created of a unified Korea. And what do you say about a unified Korea? It's a tricky business. I like the idea of a unified Korea. First of all, before I get into it, I just don't like separation. I don't like separation. I see a fella trying to eat a Oreo cookie and separate the cream from the cookie. I'm right there in his face. Blam! Blam! You're gonna have a hole, baby. No separation here. Getting separation anxiety just talking about right now. Blam! Fits right in your mouth. One shot, one kill. No cookies and no cream shall be separated under my watch, dude. Cookies on one side, creams on the other. Putting creams in cages. None of that shit, dude. Unified. I see a family trying to, go to court and get a divorce. You know, try to judge Judy that again. I get in there. I'm right. Fellas, ladies, do we really need to go down this path? Could this all be resolved maybe with a little bit of the spicing up of the old love life? Have you tried a 69? Have you tried shaving? Have you tried growing it out? Have you tried going down on each other more? Going up on each other more? Have you tried, when was the last time you wore your lady, when was the last time you went inside your lady and just like, put your head in there? When was the last time you did that? And you're like, man, I never tried. Well, that's why it's failing, dog. That's why it's failing, dude. Because you need to become one. And I don't know what they're teaching you out there, man, but head needs to go in, you need to go in there, like all the way, like neck deep in there. That's what I do, man. I go in there neck deep. And you're like, maybe that's why you're single. It has nothing to do with that, dude. It has nothing to do with that. One has nothing to do with the other. There are no correlations here. It's a choice. It's a choice. But I'm saying, man, you need to get in there. And so I'm there in the courts reminding them of these matters that can be resolved over a little bit of just intimacy and communication, listening. And reminding them that, at the end of the day, who's the winner in this court? Who's the winner? It's not you. It's not him. It's the lawyers. It's the lawyers from both sides. They're pitting you against each other. Oh, young money, cash money all day, every day for the lawyers, huh? I remind them that the system's built to design to create divisions between families. The nuclear family's been under attack for some time now, and I'm just there to remind you, get there, focus on yourselves, because the grass may always seem bluer on the other side. And sure, it might be some special African grass that's blue, and it's wonderful, and yours is patchy. But guess what? Despite the fact that it's patchy, it's always there. It's always been there, fam. And it comes back every year, a little bit stronger. All you need to do is just attend to that patchy piece of grass a little bit longer. And it's through thick and thin, through sickness and in health. You stick it out, God. You made a commitment. There are kids involved now. 10 years of and you got young kids. You stick together. Okay? And unless you're really, really toxic for each other, then I get in there and I separate it. I get in there and I do reverse these. I separate it instantly. But most often it's not. Most often I recognize that people are just, caught up in the life, the keeping up with the Joneses, with the looking at the social medias and reading this and reading that and be like, oh, well, what if we were doing this? And what if we were doing? No, fam, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You concentrate on yours. Concentrate on yours, dudes. So I get it. I'm not a fan of separation, dog. Not a fan of separation. So a unified Korea is something that I can get behind. Separation doesn't make me feel good. Whether it's families, whether it's cookies. Velcro, dude. I see Velcro just being undone. I'm on top of it. Sticking it back together, baby, because I don't like separation. I'm that man. Sticking the Velcro back together. Thank you very much. Doing the Lord's work, trying at least. But, a unified Korea. Who would this benefit? Let's go through it. The 5 W's and the H. The what? The who? The where? The when? The how? The what? We covered all of them. So, who would benefit from a unified Korea? Well, in the movie, they, not to spoil anything, but I mean, it's, go watch this. Before I get into the who will benefit and all that, the things that I enjoyed about the movie, the series, you do good lighting in a movie, and you fuck around with the good lighting, fam. You caught me with the good lighting. Well, hold on, let's take it even further back. Okay, this isn't a hard sell, fam. You like the first Money Heist because of hot Latinos and Latinas. You're gonna love this just as much, maybe even more, because why? Hot Koreans, dude. I'm talking north and south. I can't tell the difference. That's on you. On me? On all of us. It's on everybody. I'm not taking responsibility for that, but a bunch of hot Koreans. And Koreans be killing it lately, you know, with their K-pops, with their variety. Again, the North and the South. You know, which country in the world has two versions of themselves? It's pretty much Korea, right? I can't think of any other one. Maybe there's like a few more, but different. You know, they got beautiful men and women. Uh, you put out, you know, Squid Game, so big that they had to go, and I think Mr. Beast did a remake of it. That's how big it was. It's just taken off internationally. For a while, it was just, you know, talked about this, fam. The week that it came out, I was just down on their underground basement, the trenches, in the subway, trying to get myself into a little bit of an argument with beautiful Korean men and women, see if they know anything about the games, because Papa needs to get that, you know, get in there. You don't know me. I'll go compete. I've seen the game. Oh, the cookie part where do you know how, dude, arts and crafts is I get in there, I'd be so delicate with it, with that cookie cutting thingy. Oh my God. I'd bring it back and be like, what'd you use, lasers? I'd be like, nah, that's just good hand-eye coordination. Can't help it. It's a gift and a curse. You know what I mean? But what are we talking about? Beautiful Koreans. So you're getting us. You're getting, it's working. Whatever you're doing, it's a working. I enjoyed the people, the actors, the actresses, all hot, most of them. A few uggos, but mostly hot. You got to keep it balanced. You got to throw in a couple of uggos with a lot of hotties. It can't be all hotties, because if it's all hotties, then you're like, oh, I feel too good about myself. Man, standards are fucking high in here. So, you know, put in a couple of uggos. Yin yang, baby, yin yang. The point is that the lighting was amazing, and I like anything that's got that, you know, it's that, again, it's that we're doing it, baby. We're working that neo-noir concept with the lights, with the lights and the dark, with the neon lights in the dark, and the purple and the red and the blue, and the orange and the pink, and neon. Neo-noir, baby, doing it. Throwing a couple of beautiful Koreans in there, neo-noir, highlighted with neon lights coming out of the dark, more neon lights. Fucking love it, dude. A little bit of rain reflecting on the ground. Love it. Trench coats. Love it. So, Money Heist, I liked it, but I wanted to watch it because of the idea. I wanted to see what a reimagined or imagined unified Korea would look like. And in the series, they gave a depiction of this initially. You know, they came out and said, oh, it'll be beneficial for everybody, the masses, you know, the people, the peepsies. You know, it's going to benefit everybody, but initially, I guess, in the preliminary stages, only the rich benefited from it. So, you know, hence the Money Heist. But it got me thinking, man. It got me thinking. A unified Korea. What would that entail? What would that mean? You know? And the movie, the series didn't, you know, they forgot to, or I guess not forgot to, they probably did it on purpose, maybe not, I don't know, but if a unified Korea is to be imagined, you're going to have to somehow, or we're going to have to somehow, they're going to have to, somebody's going to have to somehow figure out a way to deal with the whole Kim family, you know what I mean? The brother and the sister. I mean, and I went back and read a little bit about it. Apparently, like, there have been talks of reunification between the North and the South. There is a, you know, it's very interesting history. I'm not that knowledgeable about it. I know very little. Korea's been, again, I do apologize if I say anything incorrectly, but if I'm not mistaken, prior to the World Wars, under the influence of Japan, and then after the World Wars, the US got in there, supported the South. Well, they divided the country, and then Russia got in there and supported the North. They were a little bit more communist. I'm just butchering it, and again, it's just, and I'm not trying to, you know, but that's just my understanding. I wanted to know, like, when were they one? When did they become two? How did they split? 1948, if I'm not mistaken. 1948, 1950 to 1953, around that time was the whole, from what I grasp. And I do apologize if my history's not that, you know, but I try to stay a little bit informed just so that I know. Because it's fun to know. But it's, yeah, because it's just like, it's the same people. It's divided by a line. And for what? Who knows? But if that's the thing, you know, there's so many multiple angles to this. Who benefits from a divided Korea? who benefits from the divided Korea? Well, North Korea benefits from a divided Korea because obviously they probably have ample amounts of cheap labor because the whole, lack of rules, regulations, just basic respect for humans, so that's, so who's benefiting, like, again, top dogs, Kim family, all the goons probably around and benefiting from that system being in place. I would assume, again, this is not based on any factual evidence because I've not been in there, but I would assume the Chinese government might be a little bit, might not be super bummed out about the fact that Korea is divided. They might be benefiting a little bit. I'm not saying anything because I don't know anything, but I would assume if the Chinese government had access to a country where that country doesn't treat their citizens too well, maybe they dabble in and be like, hey, what's up with questionable labor practices? Can we get in on that? Maybe not. That's just my gut, and I don't know. So, at the same rate, South Korea would also kind of benefit from a divided Korea, because if you have South Korea, democratic country, doing its thing, but then you got China, because like China's got borders with North Korea, and then North Korea is right in between South Korea and China. So it's kind of good in a sense if you're South Korea to have that buffer zone of that wild card, that North Korea right in between you and China, because China be up in there like swimwear, you know what I'm talking about, baby. Next thing you know, they be tempted to, come in and be like, doing this, that, and the other. Not saying anything, but I'm just saying. So it's kind of, in a sense, it may be beneficial to have some, like, it's like you got, if you want to get in here, first you got to deal with that. Go ahead and deal with that first, and then you can get in here. So in a sense, it's good. But in the grand scheme of things, obviously it would be beneficial for everybody to get along, respect each other's boundaries, have the Koreans unify, become one. And then what do you do with Kim and the sister? Dude, I think we send them out, we all-inclusive trip, or because I don't want to see anyway, it is what it is, fam. We're going to have to deal with this at one point or another. A round trip to the Amazons, put the Kims in the plane, you go down there, the Kims, do a bunch of ayahuasca, do enough so that, shit your pants, vomit if you have to, walk or do a little bit of, introspection, a little bit of meditation, and then get out there in the world and start, just doing humanitarian work if that's a thing. That's just, again, maybe that's just me wishful thinking. Let me know what you think. Well, who would it benefit if they were to stay separate? Maybe, in short term, maybe a few top dogs would benefit. Long term, everybody would benefit if I think, again, I have no idea. How do Koreans feel about this? I'm interested to know how Koreans feel about this. Whether you're from South Korea or North Korea, would you want your country to be unified as one? Do you have family members that were, are you sitting across the table eating dinner and knowing that your cousins are out there on the other side also eating dinner? What's the sitch? What's the vibe? Would you guys want that? I think it would benefit Korea though if they were to unify, because that way you get you get the modernity and the tech and the economy of South Korea, and then you'd have the, North Korea, again, my apologies, but from my understanding, one of the only things that you may have, and that's even a little bit questionable, is I'm going to say an army of sorts. And again, how beneficial is that? I don't know in this day and age. I don't know, but it is a thing, and it's out there. And yeah, for them to, but that's, oh man, but if they unify, it could be a total game changer in the, on the world stage, on the stage of life of the, because man, they could become a formidable opponent. All of a sudden, Korea's just becoming a superpower. They could be a contender. But in this day and age, I say we stop the whole I want to be a superpower. I say everybody, we just share the power, man. Share the power, dude. There's power in people, power in unity, power in numbers. you know, because it's not no bueno. Unite, but don't be all like, oh, it's time to. Not only have we now united, it's now time to. It's our destiny to, you know. A lot of nations. I'm not saying Korea does, but a lot of nations have that mentality of, oh, now it's our time to shine. It's all of our time to shine, baby. That's what I say. So, you know, I can get in there, dude. I can get in there and do it, fam. If you need me, holla at your boy. I'll be there. Where? Pyongyang, baby. I'll be there. If you need me, I'll be there. In Seoul, I'll be there. If need be, I'll be there. You want me to just stay put for the time being? Alright, I'll stay put. I'm not going anywhere. I'll stay right here. It's fine. But, you know, that's, those are just some things that I thought about. It's interesting because, yeah, a lot of places in the world are going to be, we're moving towards more with the age of technology and communication. Again, it goes back to communication, fam, the internets, and just people being more aware of themselves and what's around them. The world is becoming small in a sense. They're like, you know, you want to be able to like, oh, I want to go visit this place, cool beesies, I want to do it. I think eventually we're getting there. That's beautiful. That's why I'm so excited to be living this time. God damn it, things for the most part are really fucking good. And I just want it to get better and better. And we're doing our best. Everybody's doing their best. I see it. I see it in your eyes. I see it in your faces. I see it everywhere, dudes. What else have we got going on the agendas? Not that there's ever an agenda. Man from Toronto, we covered that. Oh, one thing that I would love to, here's the thing, you know, watching the movie, I like working with my hands, but I could never be, I related to one of the characters. I don't think I could ever be a doctor, or if I were a doctor, I'd be a doctor I'd be one of the best doctors, but I'd also probably like throw up every time I'm doing a procedure. If I'm operating on you, dude, I'd be like, you know, I'd be that doctor that just like best surgeon in the Midwest, dude, but he also throws up like projectile vomits every time he's doing a sesh. I'll be in there. Hand me the scalpel. Just like cutting and slicing and like stitching and like, but I'm really good. My handwork is really good. I do throw up in every hour. I want to see more doctors. That's what it is, fam. Enough of this like holding people back because they have like, you know, get a little bit queasy with either the side of blood or, you know, bodily fluids. I'm in there. My hands are steady. It's just I can't keep it in. I can, but if I were to be a doctor, I'd want to be doing something. I want to stand out. I don't want to just be like, oh, look at him, and all white and, you know, no, I couldn't. I'd show up. I do the best work, but I throw up. And sure, there'd be times where it's hard to decide whether they should keep me on board or off board. But you know, if I'm off board, dude, I'm flying down south or east or somewhere else where rules and regulations are not upheld, and I'll still be operating, dude. I'll still be. So you want me on your team, dudes? Yeah, just look past the throwing up. Sure, I might get infected. I'm working on it, but at least I do a great job, dude. You have no idea. After the procedure's done, after the infection's over, you know, several weeks of antibiotics will just clean your system right. You'll wake up, no scars. Did we spend, you know, 2-3 weeks extra in the hospital for you having to recover? Yes, but no scars, dude. And I'm sorry, I can't keep everything in while I'm operating. You're open there, like with everything. Ow, you'd throw up if you were there too. Some of you have. We gave you the best tranquilizers, but some of you guys just won't go down. And I'm like, all right, we're doing this live. I'm starting to throw up. Now you're starting to throw up. Everybody's throwing up. Nurses are throwing up. Wild. But I get the job done because once I start, I can't stop, really. The throwing up, it's crazy. All right. Money heist. Talked about it. Oh, what is this? What do we have here? Little old piece of news that was, again, interesting. And I want you to remember, fam, whatever you hear, whatever you're doing out there, always be there with an open mind. Be there with a glass half full mentality, because every time something happens, every time you're feeling tested, you're being challenged to think of better ideas, and we're all essentially problem solvers out there. Whether we're performing in the open heart surgery room, throwing up, doing a fine job, or we're wherever else doing whatever else that we're supposed to be doing, there's always a time where we go back and forth. And right now in America, there's been some news. Roe versus Wade. Wade versus Roe. It's been reversed. Abortions are now outlawed. They're banned in some places. And I just wrote a little something. Let me just, because as a man hearing this news, men should feel safe knowing their ladies have access to proper abortions. Just saying, as a dude. And I should say this: if abortions were given out by Big Pharma, you'd have free and forced abortions. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? If abortions were manufactured and catered by Big Pharma, you'd not only get one, you'd end up getting 3, and you still get pregnant. It's wild. And if abortions were vaccines, we'd be giving them out to children on the age of 5, and you're like, this doesn't even apply to kids. And I'm like, yeah, I know. If abortions were vaccines, even men would be forced to get them. I'm just saying. Here in the news, some men have taken a hammer to their nuts and have tried to kill a few sperm on site. That's also happening in and around the US. But I do think this is a great opportunity for Big Pharma to start, pushing male contraceptive pills. And with all that plastic in our ecosystem, food and body, let's face it, with our indulgent lifestyles, these sperm counts are barely hanging on. So to add another kill shot to the old sperm count is probably not the smartest thing to do, but if there's money to be made, there's money to be made, and that's like half the populace right there. I didn't think of this. The idea's out there. This shit will make your sperm swim backwards, dude. The pill that we're working on, not me, we as a collective. I'm pretty sure somebody's working. This shit will make your sperm fly backwards. It'll make it so high and make it believe that it's already in the egg. The sperm you'll ejac in your sperm like it's barely at your wiener, dude. And I'll be like, it'll just be high-fiving itself for its great accomplishments. I'm in an egg. Oh, I'm pregnant. It's like all of them are doing it. A whole million high-fiving sperms, dude. Yeah, if you thought your sperm was in trouble, just wait. Just wait. And I know this is about women and men. It's not about men and women. This isn't about men and women. It's about everybody, goddammit. But it's a great opportunity. To bring back common sense. And yeah, my body, my choice. Your body, your choice. Unless there's a ton of money to be made, in which case, man, the politicians really turn a blind eye and grease pockets. But at the end of the day, we're all trying. We're all trying. Things are on the up and up. I believe, I'm not too worried about this. To be honest, I'm not too worried about this. Why? Because we're already thinking ahead. Companies are thinking ahead. Some companies I've read, they're already offering to fly out their employees to get abortions. Makes total sense. Makes perfect sense, dude. Becky's pregnant again. Put her on a flight, dude. Put her on a flight. I want to see Becky up in the sky. Just, wasting resources. So many resources. God. But is it worth it at the end of the day? Is it not worth it at the end of the day? You know what I mean? What am I? And you're like, it's so easy to point and be like this, that, and the other. What am I doing to help the situation? I'm so happy you asked, because again, in every circumstance, there's an opportunity for all of us. And what I can do is to offer to save not all women, not all the ladies, but one lucky lady from the America, preferably you're from Texas. Has it been outlawed in Texas? I don't know. But I'm just saying, baby girl, hey, everybody else, this is a private conversation now. The jokes and the funnies are over for a second. Parentheses, this is just between me and my wife. Okay, can we get a little bit of privacy for a second, baby boo? You're out there. Times are scary, baby girl. I get it. But you and I get together. We combine our citizenships. I provide you with that free healthcare. Baby, you get into this land, abortions for days. We go through the drive-thru in Tim Hortons, free abortions everywhere. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. And in return, all I ask for is a, green card, which you don't even have to do anything, baby. We get married. I wait 5 to 7 years is something that I've heard, and the next thing you know, best of both worlds. Or we get the countries to marry and just, take all policies that make sense for. But that's me thinking ahead. Wait, forget about it. That's too much. Too much. You can control the things that you can control. Baby girl, I will fly down there, or I will drive down there. We can get you pregnant. Think it over. Do you want to keep it or not? While we're coming back and forth, while we're traveling back and forth with all the traveling back and forth. All right, you decide what you want to do, baby. And yeah, I'm sorry, I can't do this for everybody. You know what I mean? Can't do them, but this is just for you and me, baby boo, baby girl. And we'll get you that plan B. We'll get you that plan C. We'll abort that baby, and in Canada, you're like, what if the baby comes out and we don't like the baby? Baby, let me tell you this. In Canada, we have laws, like pro-eugenics laws, dude, baby, lady. Down the line, we can just be like, we talk that baby into some sort of, we'll make the baby believe he or she's fully depressed and that they don't have a chance of living. Next thing you know, they can go to a doctor. Sure, there's going to be a little bit of sessions going in and out, but we'll get the doctor. We'll pay him. We'll pay the doctor, dude. We'll pay him, slide a little bit of money in their pockets. I need you to reinforce my daughter or my son if they're acting out, dude. If they're acting out and daddy and mommy have been trying, they're just a spoiled little brat, and they're like, we'll get them to, So we got late abortions too, fam. Our kid could be 80 years old and we could end it. I'm just saying, we can do that here for now. So, parentheses closed. This is now no longer a private conversation. Now we can all just be a gang again. Sorry, gang. Had to leave for a second, have a private conversation with my baby boo out there. I mean, you guys get it. It's, work and business, always a pleasure. So, thing that I'm trying to say is that it's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity for us to have common sense conversations. Nothing gets me harder than I'm so hard right now because that's what common sense does for your boy. I can't stand up. It'd be embarrassing. Not for me. It's for somebody. But I believe it's time to find the men and women who, I don't know how it works in your judicial system, but whoever passed this, or, find their kids, get them pregnant. That's how this will just be overturned. And, whether they got daughters, whether maybe they got sons. You got female daughters, send them out there. Get them to, get your kids fucking, get a couple of high status kids belonging to high status people. Elite kids, have a couple of babies that are not supposed to be there. Everything will take care of itself. I guarantee you. Because, it's, what I'm talking about. Somebody that matters. And we all matter. In my eye, we all matter. But that's, we're together making it better. Together we're making it better. So you go out there and impregnate a politician's daughter or son, low key. Don't do any, don't commit no crimes or anything. Make sure everybody's of age and all that shit. But nonetheless, fam, get pregnant and then lay it on the table. All right? Lay it on the table. Come in there with a big old belly. Like, you did this, Dad. You did this, Mom. And maybe they'll be like, oh, great. Maybe that's what they're into. Maybe that's what they wanted from the beginning, for you to have a baby. And man, that plan really backfired. I was hoping it wouldn't, but you never know till you try. So put yourself out there. This is what I'm willing to. What are you willing to do? Anything. it was also, it was Pride month or week. Start with a day, then it turned into a week. Then I think we went for a full month. So, happy gay day to everybody. It's done, it's over. No more celebrating. It's done. 1 month, you get to be proud. 11 months of shame, 1 month of pride. That's how it works? No? I'm just messing with you. Love to see everybody. I was out there, saw a whole bunch of people celebrating, having a ball. Best of times, which is really great. And what else is something that's interesting? Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow they're going to be handing out her sentence. I may be wrong, I may be right. Rumors that she may be doing up to, 30 years in prison. You have Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. You have their trial. You have millions of hours of data in court, out of court. We've seen it all. I know so much. I didn't even look into it, but if I wanted to, there's ample amounts of hours, days, years of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, just a celebrity couple who are going through it. And by the way, I should say this, I want everybody to move on and just, both parties, just move on with your lives and live the best lives out. And like for everybody out there, don't be, but my point that I'm trying to make is that we have hours, ample hours of data going back to this really non-important but also very entertaining issue. But when it comes to Ghislaine Maxwell, you'd think that a case involving a international pimp, international sex trafficker who is involved with the likes of royalties, politicians, celebrities, you'd think that court case would get a little bit of, can we get a little bit of insight? Nah. Why? Because Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard is more entertaining. But I'll tell you what, man, if the Ghislaine Maxwell trials were also up and running, I think a lot of people would be interested. Because here's the thing, I think she's getting sentenced up to potentially 30 years. Part of me, low-key, part of me feels bad for her, dude. Because Jeffrey Epstein suicided himself conveniently. And she's kind of become like with her, it kind of all became as if like everything's like, oh, we're gonna just like, sentence her and that's the end of that. Which to me, it's like she's definitely a part of the problem. She's not the solution, but she's definitely part of the problem, but she's not all the problem, you know what I mean? Like, who are the people asking for these underage prostitutes? You know what I mean? Because that's the problem. That Ghislaine, Epstein, all these also part of the problem, but it's like if you're addicted to cocaine, for example, or any other substance, and it's illegal, and you have a dealer, do you only rely on one dealer for your, do you only wait for, like, if somebody's out of town, if somebody got busted, if somebody's running low on something? No, man, as a former person who used to buy weed illegally until it turned legal, multiple dealers all around the city, God, of course you'd have to, because you never know where you are, when things call for it. And that's from a consumer perspective. So the consumers, I'd like to be, I'd like to get a little bit of like, who are the consumers? And there have been lists, kind of, sort of, but not really talked about, kind of, sort of. Mostly, again, there's so much happening with the news cycle that it just gets, and not that I don't like pedophiles, I'll tell you that. So, with that being said, yeah, it's just interesting to see how, celebrity couple fighting or whatever gets millions of hours of videos, interpretations, people talking about it, taking sides, this, that, and the other. And then international sex trafficker involved with royalty, celebrities, politicians. We're gonna close it down. This doesn't need to be public. Right. Good times. Seriously, good times. But in all seriousness, I love you all. We are making progress in every aspect of our lives together, and I'm so very grateful for everybody in my life. Again, friends, family members, us doing this thing. I hope I make you guys laugh and smile. And, if I ever get you to think about anything in maybe a different direction, that's great. That may mean that I'm doing my job. And, boys out here trying, and we're learning and growing. And I'm putting in those requests to get out there on the stagey time and do my thing. And I'm just learning and growing. So again, I'm very appreciative. Talk about everything and nothing. You can find these videos on YouTube for the full-length videos. Please subscribe. That helps your boy and the algorithm. If you like segments, you're into getting clipped, you go down to Instagram. And if you want to support your boy in any other shape or form, there's always Patreon. If you want to get fiscal, do it. In the meantime, talk about it, spread the word, have fun, enjoy your lives. And I'll see you guys back here again on Wednesday. We're cooking, baby. It's summertime. Let's have some fun. Talk to y'all very soon. Love y'all. Peace out.